I'm a little bit better today. I had much sleep for the week. It's been very difficult, so value your prayers. We have youth barbecue this afternoon, and we're going to be teaching about baptism, a few testimonies, and then tomorrow we have fellowship meal, and we've been reaching out doing evangelism to the community. But it's been a struggle because I've not been well, so value your prayers. Anyhow, I was listening to Bible Thumping Wingnut. You can go to his channel, Bible Thumping Wingnut, and he has a video called When Wolves Attacked the Shepherd, a defense of John MacArthur and Grace Community Church. So you can go to his channel, and this is in response to Bible Thumping Wingnut. So Bible Thumping Wingnut's channel, When Wolves Attack the Shepherd, a defense of John MacArthur, Grace Community, etc. So what is it about? What's his video about? The video is about an incident that happened 20 years ago. About 20 years ago, John MacArthur and his elders were counseling a gentleman and his wife, and the wife apparently would not be reconciled with the husband, and so John MacArthur eventually publicly in the pulpit disciplined this lady and basically rebuked her and disfellowshipped, I think, publicly, you know. And it turns out a few years after the incident that the husband was convicted for quite some years for child abuse, sexual child abuse, and it's quite horrific what he did. Now, that was 20 years ago, but recently with the Shepherds Conference, there's a journalist called Julia Roys that did a hit piece on John MacArthur and Grace Community Church. And basically the hit piece is just bringing up all what happened 20 years ago. And since then, it's broadcast. So basically Julia Roys, she has a website, and all she does is hit pieces on evangelicals. She kind of enjoys exposing evangelical leaders and institutions, and she's at the forefront of that. And she wrote this article. She released it just a few days before the Shepherds Conference, so it was timed to cause ultimate damage, as much damage as it could, to John MacArthur, Grace Community Church. And it's kicked up a whole storm, because when there's child abuse involved, people's emotions run riot. And so there are many on YouTube that saying that Grace Community Church, John MacArthur, were back, kind of demonized this wife and sided with a child abuser. There were some basic facts that people are not really understanding, is that when John MacArthur and the elders were counseling this man and lady, it was not brought to light at the time. Neither the wife nor the elders or John MacArthur were aware of this man's child abuse. So even the wife did not bring it up at the time. And also the elders were not aware of it, and the wife had not reported anything to the police. So people who are attacking John MacArthur and the elders saying, oh, that they stood by a child abuser and not the wife, well, those are not the true facts. However, I want to give my opinion, I want to give my thoughts about the situation. In Bible Thumping Wingnut's video, and in the Reformed community, there is this rush now to defend John MacArthur and Grace Community Church. And I think that there's a bigger issue involved, is that there was injustice to this woman. So the defense is, oh well, the elders didn't know about it. Even the wife didn't mention this abuse. But the wife went through horrific time. The wife was disfellowshipped from the church. That she was rebuked publicly. She's then had this terrible situation where her husband is gone to prison, that he was a child sex abuser. He's gone to prison. So this lady needs pastoral support. She needs compassion wherever she is. But everybody's rushing to defend Grace Community Church and to defend John MacArthur. But everybody should be rushing to think, where's the lady? This happened 20 years ago. She's gone through hell. Is there any way we can help her? Any way we can support her? And that should be the priority. And it shows you that we have to be careful. We have to be careful with the J. Adams kind of pastoral care. The J. Adams pastoral care that says every problem is a sin. Yes, it is. Every problem is a sin. But when you carry that out in a way that it doesn't sit back, you know, when you're counseling people, when you're counseling marriage couples, you know, it's never like black and white. There's always more to it than you realize. So you have to be very, very cautious. You have to be very, very wise. You have to listen to both people. You have to take your time. But if you go in with the J. Adams situation and say, right, he's sinning, she's not, it's his or she's sinning and he's not, and that's the problem, and boom, you make decisions, then you end up hurting people because you're not really listening to the situation. So I do think that sometimes a very harsh approach sometimes leads to these situations where mistakes are made because you know, it's all right knowing your Bible, but you got to know a bit about life. The Bible's for me, the Bible is 100% the Word of God, and it is the ultimate authority. But sometimes you just got to have a bit of common sense and a bit of knowledge of the way people are. And when you go into a situation, just because you've been to theological seminary and you're rooted in your Bible, you know, knowing a bit about life, having a little bit of knowledge about life and the way people are, when you're dealing with people, you have to take your time. You have to really, really try to get to the bottom of it and listen. And but if you're going in, right, where's the sinner here, and I'm going to judge you, and it's not you, and yeah, you've listened, but then you're just looking like who's the sinner here, and you jump in and you want to judge, then you end up making mistakes. You end up making mistakes. And I think the J. Adams approach can very often be very harsh and very critical. And that's what you've seen here with this woman. You know, she was dealt with very harshly. You know, who knows, maybe she had an inkling of what was going on. Maybe he was abusing her, but pretending he wasn't. You don't know, so you have to be very, very careful in that situation. Having said that, you know, the elders and John MacArthur did their best. They did their best, and they made a mistake. And we have to be forgiving, and that doesn't take away from the great achievements that John MacArthur's done. It doesn't take away from the wonderful church that Grace Community is. Grace Community is a wonderful church. John MacArthur's a great pastor, and the elders are great leaders. And every leader, every church will make, you know, we all make mistakes. And it was a mistake. And John MacArthur and the church and the elders should not be attacked and judged like that. they shouldn't be attacked, they shouldn't be judged, and they shouldn't be attacked the way they're being attacked and saying he should resign. That's nonsense. False information being put out against John MacArthur and the church and on this situation should not be listened to. So I think the bottom line is, number one, when you're doing pastoral care, you have to be very, very patient and be careful not to judge, because there's more to it very often than you realize. And that's what's happened in this situation. Secondly, John MacArthur and the church made a mistake. They were not supporting a paedophile in any way, because that information had not been revealed in any situation. It had not been revealed to them either by the wife or by the man. So they shouldn't be attacked, and trying to whip up a hornet's nest of attacking him like Julia Roy's is just wicked, and it's just trying to bring him down when that's not the case. He's done phenomenal amount of work for God, and the church has done a lot of work for God, and they should learn from that mistake, but it doesn't negate the great work that they've done. And then thirdly, this lady there should be compassion for this lady. There should be compassion for this lady and support for this lady. And those are my thoughts. And the issue for me in all this is this lady, that she should be supported, she should be encouraged, she should be helped wherever she is now. But all the issue at the moment, videos coming out, is attacking John MacArthur and the church, or defending John MacArthur and the church. And I think that's wrong. I think the issue with this lady, where is she? How can people help her? How can people support her? She's had 20 years. She was treated badly, rebuked by John MacArthur. She's had this husband go to prison for sexual abuse with children, and she's had a terrible time, and she needs encouragement wherever she is. She needs prayer, she needs support. Not everybody defending themselves or attacking. Those are my thoughts. Take it or leave it. But I do think that in the Reformed community, there can be, in some circles, a very harsh pastoral way of treating people, and mistakes are made, and then when the mistakes are made, they're not accepted, they're not confessed, they're not dealt with. There are Reformed denominations that I know that have treated divorced people in a very, very bad way, and it's because of this very harsh mentality of pastoral care. And when mistakes are made, you just have to acknowledge those mistakes. A mistake was made with this lady. There's obviously, you can't just say, oh, we didn't have all the information. The fact is that because this has come out about this guy going to prison, which was 20 years ago, but he went to prison. That was 2 years after the rebuke to this lady. It was obvious that this lady was going through hell in her marriage, and maybe being a bit more practical and having a bit more common sense, maybe you would have discerned that, So I think the Reformed community does have to lighten up a bit and be a bit more gracious in its pastoral care, and I believe that very strongly. But does that negate from John MacArthur being a great pastor? No. Does that negate Grace Community Church being a great church? No, they're a great church. But all this attacking John MacArthur and the church is just ridiculous. It's just disgusting, it's evil, it's wicked, it's just downright satanic. And this Julia Roy, she's downright satanic. She just has an axe to grind. It wouldn't surprise me if Soros or some far-left billionaire is supporting her work, and they have a systematic desire to bring down evangelical leaders. So she's not in it for the truth. She's just in it for some kind of political reason. But at the end of the day, there's a woman involved, a wife who's been broken for year upon year, and nobody's talking about her. Nobody's talking about her feelings. Nobody's talking about her. She's a wounded soldier wherever she is. People should have compassion for her. People should be thinking about her. People should be supporting her. People should be helping her. People should be sending money to her. If you want to find out who she is, you can go to Bible Thumping Wingnuts channel, and you can look at his videos on this. Now, Bible Thumping Wingnut, there's very little that he said about the woman, about caring for her, supporting her, helping her. It was all about defending John MacArthur and Grace Community Church. So I take issue with Bible Thumping Wingnut there. Does that mean I have bad opinions of John MacArthur? No, I think he's one of the most amazing men of God in our time. He's got faults. He's made mistakes. He said things that sometimes I don't agree with. Sometimes I think he's very harsh, very critical. Sometimes I don't agree with some of his theology, his end-time theology, his teaching on the book of Revelation. I think he said some things that I don't agree with, big time. But I think he's a great man of God. I think he's a great expository preacher. I think Grace Community Church is a great church. I mean, if I could get to Grace Community Church, I would go to the church. I would want to fellowship there. I think they've done a great work. I think the Master Seminary has done a great work. I think they're doing a great work. And I think this is just the enemy trying to pull them down. And they need to be strong and go forward and keep doing the work that they're doing. But also learn and grow through that. You know. And have humility. And think about this lady. Those are my thoughts. Those are my genuine, honest thoughts about the situation. The reason why I'm making the video is I was listening to Bible Thumping Wingnut, and then I went and did a bit of research and saw people attacking John MacArthur, Bible Thumping Wingnut defending John MacArthur in the church, and I'm thinking, wait a minute, I'm not having this. Wait a minute. I don't care whether you are someone attacking John MacArthur or defending him. I don't like the fact that this lady who's gone through hell, there should be some humility of people saying, we got it wrong, we made a mistake, we're sorry. Hey, can we help you in any way? That should be the bottom line, not defending ourselves. If I make a mistake as a pastor, if I make a mistake as a leader in pastoral care, let's say I pastor someone and I make a wrong call, and I rebuke them publicly, and then I find out 2 years later that actually, yeah, I had certain amount of information and I made that rebuke on that certain amount of information, but in the end I was wrong because the truth has come out about that person, that they were right, and it was the other person that I should have dealt with. And then I say, oh, well, I only had a certain amount of information. It wasn't my fault. No, it was your fault because you should have had the wisdom and the understanding to know that the woman was not guilty, that there were other issues, deeper issues, that maybe she didn't want to say. Yes, maybe the husband was obviously covering these things up. So you should have had the wisdom. I should have had the wisdom, if it was me, to have understood what was going on, even if I'm not being told it. I should have had the wisdom. I know if I'm going into a room, I know if someone's lying. They can pretend to lie all they want, but I know they're lying. And I should have had a sense that this husband's lying to me, and this woman is not lying to me. I should have questioned more the husband. I should have challenged him more to see what was behind what he was saying. But I didn't. So it was my fault. And I should say, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to the woman. I'm sorry what I did. I should have the humility to do that. Not let people defend me and say, hey bro, you okay? Yeah. They're coming soon. It's at 4. It's 4 o'clock. But they'll be coming, yeah. So you can chill out if you want. Yeah, you can help me set up. Yeah, if you could water the plants. Thanks. Thanks, man. God bless you, bro.
I'm Michael.
Michael? It's your hair. You shaved your hair, yeah. You look like your man. Michael, yeah. If you water plants and then, yeah, great, bro. Great. So, yeah, so everybody should have humility and say, you know, we got it wrong. Hi, Mishak, you okay, bro? We have fellowship meal tomorrow. Tomorrow, we're having fried egg. Mama needs Mama Lydia to help to fry the eggs. Okay, God bless you, bro. So in Ghana, nobody gets anything for free. You know, they have to give 5 offerings, 6 offerings. So we're going to have a fellowship meal. We're going to fry some eggs and give them some Milo. For them, it's like a big thing. It's like, whoa, free egg, free Milo. What's going on here? You know. But in UK, fellowship meals were a normal thing. You have a meal together as a church, and it's free. Here, nothing's free. These poor ladies, market ladies, they give 5 offerings. They give 5 offerings, and they don't get anything. So we're gonna have fried egg tomorrow, and some Milo. We've invited the community, and then we'll share the gospel. You know. So anyhow, those are my thoughts. I've said what I've had to say. When we make mistakes, we confess it. We show compassion, and the lady should have support and help. And this controversy is going to, sad to say, is going to be, John MacArthur and Great Community are going to be dragged through the mud. And I'm really sad about that. Really, really sad, because it's going to fester. This Julia Roy is going to bring more accusations, and it's going to fester, and I'm really sad about that. But I believe John MacArthur is one of the great pastors of our time. I believe Grace Community is a great church, and I don't agree that they should be dragged through the mud. I do think that the elders and he should have some humility and acknowledge they made a mistake, and try to show some compassion to this lady and the church, and also yeah, and that's it really. And this lady, I pray that she gets the support she needs. All right, God bless you. And Bible Thumping Wingnut, I don't agree with you just defending John MacArthur. You should spend a bit of time, more time, on the lady. All right, God bless you, who's been falsely accused and hurt. All right, God bless you. Love you all. Take care. Bye now. You all right, Mishak? Mishak, we got fellowship meal tomorrow.